Saturation, you guys, is real. And I don't need to tell you that people are struggling right now. We are in a saturated permanent makeup market, and we are all sitting here going, what do we do? Well, hopefully, I'm here to help you. I have compiled some things, you guys, because I'm seeing it so much and all over the place. There are studios that are closing, there are people that are selling their stuff, and it is really sad. I get it. Have to pay our bills. We have to absolutely make ends meet. And if that's your calling to, stop getting or stop being in the permanent makeup industry or closing your business, absolutely do what works for you. But I know there's a lot of us that have spent a ton of money, a ton of time, a ton of energy. Trust me, I know exactly what you're talking about. I have a 2,500-foot studio and training facility right over there, which I'll show you guys too. That is incredibly big and is a lot for one person to manage and for me to figure things out. So I am here to hopefully see if we can help you. If you don't know, I'm Denise. I'm owner of Radiant Ink Beauty Studios over here in Torrance, California. I've been in the beauty industry for 15 years, and I have been doing permanent makeup, and now I'm a trainer for the past 7 years. So I have been through a lot. I've seen a lot. And one of the things that is in my mission of helping people is just that. I always wanted to build Radiant Ink as a foundation where people can go and not feel like they're being judged, not feeling like they have stupid questions. That is absolutely so important to me because that happened to me in the beginning. I was always left holding the bag, didn't have no mentors, nowhere to go. I often ask myself, how did I get here? So trust me, I get it, you guys. But how do we survive? What happened? I already did videos on what happened, why we're oversaturated, so I won't go over all of that again. But if you are here right now, you're probably hurting. You're hurting. You're trying to see what else you can do, and it sucks. I mean, let's just say it. It absolutely sucks. So hopefully, you can try to facilitate them and see if it happens and see if any of this helps for you. Standing out is not about being louder and cheaper. That's what sucks about what we do is that we devalue ourselves. I'm guilty of it too. So trust me, I had a summer special or spring special when things were really bad in the economy. And I just felt like, God, I am not getting paid for what I honestly am capable of doing. My prices were way too low for my experience. And I had to, raise my prices again. So don't feel like you can't charge what you're worth because people, I mean, there's a whole psychology of it on why people buy, and don't think that just because you have to lower your price that that's the option. Now it does work. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it does work. I've done it. Maybe do a month special or a 2-month special, but don't lower it completely or only do like $50 or something like that so that you can still stay afloat and still, pack your books in, or try to do something where you do a referral program, for all your clients, and then they only get the $50 off or something like that, so that you're not like completely devaluating what we do, because what we do is freaking hard. And I don't think people realize that. You know what I mean? Like, I say this because, like, if you look at doctors, okay, doctors, I mean, they do have insurance backing them up, so they don't have to really matter, but they do go through a lot of training too. But we don't go to trainers or go to doctors and say, can you do my surgery for this amount of money? Or can you give me that coupon? Like, it's just not what they do. And for some reason, a lot of people, they treat us like that, like we're coupons, or they can haggle with us. Like, I've had that so many times, and I'm like, why don't you just value that I'm tattooing your face and that I have gone through a lot of training too, and a lot of time and money to get where I'm at. So it's a whole thing. I could go on. So I won't go on about that right now. But anyway, don't devaluate yourself because it doesn't always work. And you might feel a little icky about doing it, because I know that's what I did. Okay, so don't just offer what everyone else is offering. So brows are great, but what else can you guys offer, right? I don't need to tell you this, what can you guys add on? There's saline removal. So here in California, we cannot do laser removal. So we can do saline. And I don't like the fact that people, they sleep on the removal, the saline. They say, oh, it doesn't give good results. And I just refer everybody out to do laser, which we can't do. And I'm not going to give up that income. I've actually formulated my own technique, my own saline removal technique using the Lift formula that has amazing results. And the thing is, too, you guys, is that saline is just like laser. It does take multiple times. So laser isn't just one and done usually. And I will tell some of my majorly saturated people to go get laser. Don't get me wrong. I won't just take everyone's money, but don't sleep on saline because it can be some really good income that you are, just giving away to people that do laser. So saline removal, inkless stretch mark removal is really popular for us right now. Those are no brainers. You don't have to brow map. You don't have to lip map. All you do is you shade in the solution, right? Absolutely try to blow these up. And with it becoming with more fall and winter months, we're not going to be so much in bikinis and stuff, so those types of techniques or services will be more popular in the cooler months. So you can fill these gaps, you guys, with something, that is more sustainable with these different types of techniques, of services. The other thing too is obviously remember who you are. So offer not just the technique or the service. Make yourself like a brand. You know what I mean? Like brand yourself like a business. I understand that taking another class can mean, investing more money, which maybe you don't have. So if there's like a service that you don't want to add on, or right now it's just not the right time, kind of look at, what you're doing currently. So how do you treat your guests? I'm sure you're amazing, but maybe there are other ways that you can up level your service. For me, my procedures usually for brows and lips can be up to 4 hours. And that's not because it takes me that long to tattoo. Sometimes it depends, but it's me offering this service because this is a luxury thing. And I make them part of every single step that I take. I educate them. I show them pictures of the healing. I show them pictures of, like, for the lips, how you could get, cold sores. We go over the color together. I don't just sit them back and do what I think. When I brow map, I show them every single little thing in their face so that they know what I'm doing and why. And you'll be surprised. A lot of people don't know their unevenness, or one brow is higher than the other, or they've got a lot of things going on. So they, and when you're talking about them, we all love to hear about ourselves, right? So when you are giving them attention about something on their face, they're like, oh wow, they really appreciate the fact that you are taking the time to point these things out to them. And there's so many benefits to this. Number one is that, when they get home and maybe the brows are a little off, or maybe the lip or something like that, because it's their natural lip line or the natural way that their brows or their face is, there's going to be no arguments because you have already pointed that out. Do you know how many text messages I get now from after my procedures? Zero, none. I get none. I mean, occasionally once in a while, but I am so thorough. And, people really do appreciate that. That is like one of the themes in all of my 5-star Google reviews. I'm sorry, I just have to say that because I worked hard for them. You know what I mean? So, but just taking the time to explain things and making them feel comfortable. And I mean, I'll tell you guys, I was never really like this from the beginning. I was scared, timid. I let my clients walk all over me. I mean, I was scared so much, like I wanted to quit. I can't even tell you. And every time something tragic happened to me, like a client walked all over me or something happened, I added that to my procedure because I didn't want to go through that again. So healing, I'm going to show them all the healing. I'm going to make sure they understand the healing, that they're going to be darker. I tell them at least 3 times, all right, Sally, you may be darker than you want to be today when you get home. So don't let that scare you. And then at the very end, all right, Sally, they look gorgeous, but remember, they may be darker. And I have a rule: Don't listen to kids, husbands, wives, dogs, cats. Don't listen to them because they're going to creep in your head and they're going to say, oh my God, mom, your brows are too dark. Don't listen to them. Trust the process. So I have this way of really talking to my clients, making them feel super comfortable. That came with time so that I create more of an experience. And I get a lot of referrals that way because, we don't really think about the client experience as much. We're thinking about our own freak out, right? We're thinking about, we're tattooing today. We're gonna like, oh my God. We're not thinking about what they're going through, right? Because they're having their own reality. I have clients that didn't sleep the night before, or have a lot of anxiety because they've never done this before, and they're getting tattooed, or their husband said, don't come home looking like Groucho Marx, or whatever it is. So they've got all this going on, right? So we have to think about them too, right? So we have to make them feel ultra comfortable, make them feel like this is the best thing that they ever did. And you can absolutely do that by creating an environment, by creating a feeling with them. And that's how I go into this. I try to vibe with my clients, and make them feel like this is such a good experience. So maybe that is a freebie that you guys can look at. See how you're conducting your procedures. Are you just sitting them back and doing what they want? Are you communicating with them? Are you offering them water, giving an aftercare kit, making the music, make sure that it fits with them? I have a lot of older clients like in the 80s, and I put on my 50s gold from Sirius XM and they love it. I love it too, obviously. I love 40s and 50s music. And so I just make sure that the atmosphere is really inviting. So those are some of the things that you can do to help you kind of get more clientele, because word of mouth, you guys, is free and it is amazing. So take a look at that, if you can't afford something. Also, the other thing, you guys, is healed results. So healed results are everything. Our clients are getting way more hip to the after photos. Those don't tell the story anymore. They may look beautiful, but when they come back, it doesn't look like that, right? It is so much softer, sometimes almost gone if you're doing nano brows. It depends on their skin and whatnot. So get really good with maybe posting more healed results, or doing the journey, doing a grid of like before makeup, first touch up, whatever, so because people love to see the journey, they love to see that story. So get some of your healed results, make a collage, let people know that you have great healed results and this is what you do. You're the expert. You have absolutely know what it's like to have clients that can trust you long term, because you know how to do your technique. You have good retention. You can absolutely blast all of this. People love to hear those buzzwords, so that absolutely can give you some better clients and fill those books. You be the educator. You can get on video like I am. Just start small, start talking about retention, why people don't retain much, talk about the skin. I think sometimes I do it too, that we feel like everybody already knows this. We're like, why should I make a video? I already saw Barbara from Barbara's Brows, she did it, or whatever. So I mean, people aren't going to watch mine, and you don't know that. You don't know that. Put your content out there, and people do. They love to hear. They like to be educated by this stuff. So don't sleep on some of this free stuff that you can absolutely help you, get out of, sometimes out of these sticky, feeling overwhelmed, and how to book some clients. Create content that educates. Don't just keep posting, the brows are done, here's the after. Get those healed results in, you guys. Teach instead, like the skin, and educate clients that are loyal clients. And then also, what's really good is always, start getting content of the client and their reaction, the real time reaction, because then they're like, wow, look at how happy she is. I want to be happy too. I want to have beautiful brows too. So, and those don't take very long. You don't have to make it fancy, but try to get that content, because that absolutely could book you more clients as well. So, and you absolutely could do Google ads and Facebook ads, but those are a whole nother thing, can absolutely suck up a lot of money as well. So if you're not prepared for a budget with that, you can start doing these smaller things. And social media is free. Get out there, just keep posting, keep posting. Don't let that trip you up. Don't let that worry you that people aren't looking, people aren't interested in me, because then we start judging, we start to look at ourselves. And don't do that. There's a whole world of algorithm crap that I don't understand, and I'm sure a lot of us don't either, that's out of our hands. So my best advice is just to keep posting. Get yourself out there, just keep doing it. And you can repurpose your stuff too, because people didn't see it. You can repurpose it, and you'll be absolutely fine with just getting your message out. I know for me, I repurpose a lot of things. I mean, I have a lot of content too, but I repurpose things constantly. So we don't have a lot of time for social media a lot of times, but definitely, try to do what you can with your social media and change it up. Use ChatGPT. I mean, ChatGPT is an amazing tool to help you get some ideas. I think it's helped a lot of people, and it really could help you get some good ideas to push out your content, get out of your comfort zone. I mean, it's been a blessing for us for sure. So just to wrap up, you guys, really don't get caught up in what's going on right now, and feel like you have to give up. If you absolutely have to, yeah, I get it, but start looking at some of the things that you could do, that are free, and then look at some classes that you could take, that could help you, get some bookings. There's tiny tattoos. I teach tiny tattoos. My clients absolutely trust me because I've already tattooed their face, and now they want just like a small heart or maybe something bigger, which I do now too. And and then they'll bring their daughter. I mean, this is all experience. They'll bring their family members. They all want the same thing. So tiny tattoos are a good way to also add some income to your books. Don't be afraid to add this. I know a lot of people are scared, and we also get a bad rap because they want us to stay in our lane with the tiny tattoos and stuff like that. But if you get the right training and you practice enough, and your line work and skin work or dot work or whatever it is that you decide to do is good, that's exactly what all other tattoo artists do and permanent makeup artists do. We all start somewhere. I formulated a safety net program so that afterwards I could have a value for my students, and they have lifetime access to me. They have 2 months of free chair rental here. I love being able to add a value because, whatever we add on or whatever we are doing, we don't have our crystal ball to know that it's going to work out, or, is this the right decision? So my platform, I absolutely have my safety net program, which I love dearly. I totally knew that that was something that I wanted to implement when I formulated Radiant Ink, to help others really get into this industry and with a little bit more ease and grace, because I've been there, I've done it, I've had those ugly cries. You will too, don't get me wrong. But maybe also getting a good mentor if you're not in the LA area. I mean, you could also email me or text me. I will absolutely help you guys out with any questions that you have. That is my nature. I don't hold back. I love helping people. And I wouldn't have taken this leap of faith if I knew that this wasn't a calling for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope maybe you got some value from it. I wish I had a magic wand, you guys. I really wish that I could just magic wand all of us out of debt, or out of, having bookings and stuff like that. But my best advice is just to keep going. Don't get discouraged. Do what you can. Don't get in your head either. Try not to live in that fear zone, because as soon as that creeps up, it just affects us completely. It can affect our health. It can affect our work, our relationships, and we all have these ups and downs. It's not just you. It is the industry as a whole. It is the world as a whole. Can we control that? No, we can't control that. We can control us. We can control us on a daily basis. How are you feeling? How are you mentally? What are you doing to help yourself out? For me, I'm huge into crystals. I have my own little rituals that I do. Maybe I'll share that someday if you guys are interested. But there's a whole lot of things that I needed to do so that I could get to where I am now. And, I'm not perfect. I still have a lot to, a lot of things too that I need to learn and grow through. But I know where you're at right now if you are there. So just have some grace with yourself. Things will get better, and just try. That's all you can do. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening to this. I just started out with my YouTube right now, so I'm hoping that I can resonate with some of you guys. And let me know if there's any topics you want me to talk about. I'm pretty much a jack of all trades. I do so many things: brows, lips, inkless stretch mark removal, saline removal, or saline revision, fibroblast, tiny tattoos, holy moly. And I mean, there's more, but let me know. I love you guys. Hang in there. And until next time, you take care, okay? Bye.